Welcome to the Road to the Rose Bowl, where we discuss college football. Who do I have sitting to my left?
You have Brian.
That is amazing. Who do I have sitting to my right?
Jacob.
Yeah, he's not in front of me anymore. So,
could have tricked the audience and just said I was. They can't see us.
But they can.
Yeah. Big brother's watching.
Yep, they're deep down inside here with us.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a lot to discuss today, but I figured we'd start out with y'all know what today is?
It's Friday the 13th.
It is.
Watch out for a Voorhees. If you're going to Camp Crystal Lake, I'd stay away for right now.
Could be pretty dangerous.
You know, y'all want to go to Camp Crystal Lake tonight? Speaking of the devil?
I actually have a funny story about that. Whenever I was in high school, we went to a football camp, and it was in Paris, Kentucky, and it was at this old abandoned place with all these cabins, and it had a lake and everything, and we just always called it Camp Crystal Lake. Not really a relevant story, but I thought it'd be fun to share.
A story nonetheless.
A story nonetheless, because I'm a storyteller.
That's right.
Also, I'd like to say our episode is sponsored by water. You can find water at any sink in your house. You can also find water in stores. You can buy it. We make no revenue off of it, but we just figured we would include that in there because water is so great.
We also have our water held in the big Adidas cup. Adidas sponsor us.
Yeah. Adidas, give us money now. We want 74,000 likes, 10 million on the Patreon or whatever we said last week, and we want Adidas.
We'll go on a hunger strike.
We want money.
And just in case there's people out here that don't get it, this is a joke.
No, we're dead serious. We do this only we only do it for the bread, but. All jokes aside, there's one more thing I want to mention before we get to recaps, and it is, again, the logo. Michael, if you didn't listen to last week's episode, you might notice we have a new logo. Buddy of mine, Michael Elswick, painted this. Just a great logo overall, and he's given me permission to allow us to put his email in the description. So after you get done listening to us or whatever, you can go down to the description, check out his email, and if you have any artwork you need done for your family, just go to him. He's amazing.
I actually might.
Just on a side note here, we do need channel art, and we might need that in the next few months or so. If we and we go to him for that too, couldn't we? Yeah. So we may actually still go to him in the future.
Yeah, of course.
We're definitely going to advocate for him here.
And if he's actually willing, I actually will pay him to actually do some character designs for a story I'm writing. So that'd be actually kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, on with the podcast, man.
Yep.
On to the football. We had our first game here in the recap from last week. We figured we'd discuss Maryland over Syracuse quickly. What did you think about that one, Brian?
I called it.
He did. I said, I think Syracuse win this one, and it was absolute clobbering.
Oh, my God. Syracuse didn't have a chance.
No, it was a smackdown. Awful. I did not expect
the quarterback from Maryland really impressed me, though.
He did.
He played very well.
It's one or two things. Either he's really good or Syracuse's defense is the worst thing to ever exist. I think he's actually a pretty good player because Syracuse is a pretty good football team overall, but very good performance. What do you think about it, Jacob?
I was very surprised by the unique uniforms.
Oh my God! Can we talk about Maryland's uniforms? Them are the god-awfulest things.
I actually like them.
I hate them. I think they look stupid.
Well,
the jerseys are fine. It's the helmets I can't stand.
The helmets are the dumbest thing.
I think they look unique.
They have this pretentious flag-looking thing on them.
I'll give it that. They do look like a generic piece of modern art.
Yeah,
but this time it's slapped on a football uniform, and that's unique. That's legitimately unique, unlike modern art.
And so is Oregon's uniforms.
Oregon's are not unique. They're just.
Have you seen Michigan State's uniforms, by the way?
Yeah, the green and white.
Yeah. No, they changed them. It's now dark green and lime yellow. It's the worst thing to ever look at. I'll show you whenever we get to the Michigan State-Arizona State game. But
anyway, the game, absolute slobber knocker, man.
Yeah, terrible.
It was
a massacre.
I mean, I loved watching it, though, just to watch Maryland stomp a mud hole into them guys, man.
Yep.
That was interesting.
Well, it's pretty fun, but we're going to go on to USC versus Stanford. What do you think about USC versus Stanford?
Didn't I also say that I think that the backup quarterback may surprise you?
Yeah, and he came out and just gunslinged it everywhere. He had, I think, at one time he was 20 for 23 passing, which, he went out and just lit up Stanford. I did not expect that at all. Which Stanford's actually made it twice on our Games of the Week list, and they're going to make it a third time this week. So, I mean, say whatever. Stanford's going out and scheduling people.
Yeah, true.
I'll give them that.
Yeah.
And they might make it a fourth if, depending on this week, how that goes. But what do you think about USC and Stanford?
Interesting is about all I got for it. Stanford, I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah, I picked Stanford too, so I was dead wrong on that.
I picked USC.
You did?
Yeah, you surprised both of us.
Yep.
Even me. And
yeah,
I
I didn't.
Potato famines are interesting.
Yeah. Third week in a row, we got to deal with this potato famine. Well, we're going to get to the potato famine here in a minute. Let's hold off on that because we actually are talking about that team. Okay, Colorado and Nebraska. What do you think about Colorado versus Nebraska?
I actually didn't see very much of that game.
Okay, this one I'm mad about. This one I have a lot
I
to
knew
say.
Nebraska lost.
Yes,
but
they did.
Yeah.
That was my bold prediction of the year was Nebraska's going to be this and Nebraska's going to be that. Their quarterback could be a Heisman contender. Scott Frost is a great coach, but now I'm not so sold on it. They have a lot of issues, especially on the defensive side. They're a mess. So, but you didn't see this one here, did you, Jake?
No, I do want to say something about Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the most boring state of all time.
Oh yeah.
It's not
the worst.
I'm surprised they have a football team.
Nebraska actually has
they're known for football.
Yeah, Nebraska is like Alabama. That's all they got there.
Does Wyoming have a football team?
They do, and they're garbage.
I would imagine because they have 400,000 people living in a state the size of nearly Montana.
Yeah, they have heck, Rhode Island has a football team. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got more people in it than Wyoming.
Yeah. Rhode Island is the size of a supermarket Walmart. So
Pike County is actually bigger than, or the county we live in is actually bigger than the state of Rhode Island.
Yep.
You just gave away our location.
Yep. Now they know they're coming for us.
They know.
Adidas will come down and hunt us down. But
Adidas is going to come and give us a sponsorship now.
Yeah.
Of
course. We'll get money. We're going to be rich. But we'll go on to Florida State versus Louisiana Monroe, or as I like to call them, DeVry Engineering or University of Phoenix Online. Did you hear about this game, or did you watch this game, Brian?
I don't think so, no.
Florida State and Louisiana Monroe?
I didn't see it, but they kept cutting to it, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, Florida State almost lost to a glorified Sunbelt team. Well, I mean, it is a Sunbelt team. It's just like a glorified FCS school that's in the FBS. They also had a player line up backwards in this game on the line of scrimmage.
How do you do that?
And it wasn't a trick play of any sort.
No, it was just nonsense. I mean, like they had like an audible, like they were going to show that to like trick the defense, but what are you tricking there? That your players are buffoons?
Well, you see, they're trying.
What's the trick there?
It's like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's duck season, rabbit season.
Yeah.
He figured like if he'd run that way, that Wile E. Coyote would chase after him just like Roadrunner or something.
Yeah. Florida State's entire coaching staff needs to be fired.
Oh, yeah.
They won this game because Louisiana Monroe couldn't hit a PAT in overtime.
And that's hilarious.
Yep. So
should have gone for 2.
Everybody should be fired from Florida State.
People always tell me I'm stupid for saying go for 2.
Yeah.
That time they should have gone for 2.
Yeah, or just not miss the field goal. That was kind of hilarious.
I mean, yeah, but go for 2.
Yeah, I mean, you are Louisiana Monroe in Florida State. You might as well go all out or nothing. But yeah, this game was just terrible. And another game that was a very big disappointment, Clemson versus Texas A&M. What do you think about this one, Brian?
It went about how I thought it would, in the fact that Clemson would eventually just pull away from the game and win pretty definitively.
Yeah.
But sloppy is like the word I would use. Like, I don't know what's been going on with Clemson now because it's, what is it? Is it it's 2 games, right? That they
Yeah, it's
now?
2 games.
It's only 2 games, but I don't know. I'm going to give them one more week, but if they're not in sync by then, I think that there's some red flags that need to go up.
I actually am opposite on you with this. I love their performance. Now, Trevor Lawrence not as much, but their overall team, their defense especially.
The offense is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And again, I'll say this: at least their running back is lighting it up. Now, as for Trevor Lawrence, he needs to pick it up. But yeah, what do you think about this game, Jacob?
It's Clemson.
Yeah,
That's. I mean.
Yeah. They're great.
To Brian, thinking that the team didn't really do good.
And they did beat number 11, 24 to basically 3.
Yeah, but if that's the case, and Brian's right, they could always be like, because I've always looked at suffering from success a legitimate thing.
They have a lot to learn from this game.
Yeah.
But not as much to learn from this game as Michigan does. Michigan versus Army. Brian, what do you think about this game?
What happened?
I predicted
what
this
happened?
game would be close, but Michigan shouldn't have won.
They shouldn't have.
No, Army was the better team from what I saw that day. Michigan, one, they don't have an offensive identity. That's one thing I noticed throughout the game. Army does. But number two, Michigan had, I think, 5 turnovers in the entire game. You can't do that. You're not beating Ohio State. And for anybody that wants to know, me and Brian both picked Michigan to win the Big Ten.
On the pretense that they have to.
Yeah.
That they have no choice but to win it.
And it's not looking so good.
It isn't.
It's looking bad.
Because Ohio State killed Cincinnati, which is a good team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you play Army, which is a good team, but not as good as Cincinnati, and you barely get by them. That does not look good. That's not a good look for Michigan.
Not at all. What do you think about Army versus Michigan?
Sad, just because Army lost it at the last second.
Yeah. And
I was rooting for Army the entire time.
I was too.
Every time I was screaming, run the option, run the option.
None of them kids for Army are going to go to the NFL either. I mean,
no, they're going to live much more exuberant lifestyles.
Yeah. I mean, they're going. That was tough to watch, but I respect the Army. They played Michigan tough, and Michigan needs to get their crap together, or else they're in for a long year.
Another conversation, me and I think it was Brian. I think we all three were there actually. Whenever they showed that the lifestyle of that dude at West Point Academy, and
oh my god,
yeah.
And me and Tyler was like, there's no way I could do that.
No,
and I was like, if I was forced to, I definitely could, but. That's an insanely hard schedule that dude has.
Like after they practice, they have to go lift weights.
It's PT, practice, weightlifting.
Yeah, that's terrible. Like practice alone is hard. That's a difficult schedule, and but a lot of respect to Army. They put up a great fight against Michigan.
A hell of a fight.
And Army the rest of the year plays nothing but cupcakes, so I think they'll win out actually.
That'd be great. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll end the year 12-1 because they actually play an extra game because they play Hawaii. But we'll move on to before we get to our game of the week from last week. I figured we'd talk about one NFL game, and that was between the Buccaneers and the Panthers. Brian, what do you think about this thing that was on TV last night?
Kill me.
It was awful.
Just kill me.
Awful.
What's wrong with Cam Newton?
He's garbage.
What's wrong?
Do you see his outfit? Do you see what he wore?
I don't care about the outfit.
No, I'm just saying though.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
His outfits normally are. But what's wrong with him?
What was his outfit?
He wore like a scarf over his head like an 86-year-old woman and a big blue coat. It was like the dumbest thing I've ever looked at. And it actually was probably the most interesting thing to come out of last night's
Do you remember
game.
3 or 4 years ago when he won the MVP and went to the Super Bowl?
Yeah. He's terrible now.
What's happened?
It's now just Christian McCaffrey and everybody else on that team.
Yeah, and maybe Greg Olsen when he's healthy.
Sure. But that is a if.
Yeah.
Jake, what do you think about this one? You didn't even watch it, did you?
Bits and pieces. It was pitiful.
Yeah.
Last night it felt like an FCS school could play him and probably put up a decent fight.
It was terrible.
Well, why do you throw 50 times?
In the rain. In bad weather conditions.
Is that it?
No, he's wore that before, but that's not it. He just pointed out an outfit Cam Newton has worn like some of his press conferences stuff for anybody that wants to know.
Yeah, you throw the ball 50 times. First off, he completed less than half of them. It was 24 for 50.
Yep.
And I think that they were just trying to make a statement because everybody's been questioning Cam Newton's shoulder and whether or not he can still throw the football well. I think hubris is a word that comes to mind.
Yeah,
that caused them to lose.
I think they're tired of hearing that Christian McCaffrey is the only good player on the team, or the only player the only impact player on the offense.
Well, here's the thing: they shut down Christian McCaffrey. He only saw the ball 13 times, and you didn't score a touchdown.
Yep.
What does that say about you?
Yep. That game was just terrible, but.
And I like Cam Newton too. I do root for him, but
I'm not a big fan of him. But
according to his outfits, I'm forced by law to stay at least 1,000 feet away from that man.
He looks like an idiot.
I'm telling you, I'd get my ass kicked if I was around him.
Yeah,
smack him upside the head, and he'd turn around and just sick his linebackers on me or something.
Yep.
But he's the size of a linebacker.
He is. He's what?
Yeah, he's a monster. I know. It's Cam Newton.
Yeah, he's like
the dude could probably wail on me, no big deal. But
Yep.
That's why I got to stay 1,000 feet away from as demanded by law.
But we're going to get on to our last game of the week from last week, and that was LSU versus Texas. And there's one little thing I want to point out. Texas is amazing for one reason. They decided to put no AC in the visitors' locker room. Brian, what do you think about that?
Well, at that point, it's just karma.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, because it didn't work.
At that
they
point.
lost.
Yeah. And also the fact that, again, I'm going to use the word hubris. It's 3rd and 17 with 2 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
You get the ball back if you held them, and you blitz everybody.
I'm going to disagree with you here because it's the only thing that was working for Texas the entire night on defense.
They got, 3 or 4 sacks?
I'm talking about from putting pressure on Joe Burrow. I mean, not talking about the sacks or anything, the number of sacks. I'm just talking about putting pressure on.
Well, he was getting pressured consistently throughout the game. It didn't really matter. The only thing that happened is, and I told you this, they got burned doing the same thing that they were doing all game, going into single soft coverage and sending the linebackers in and getting burned on big plays.
Well, yeah. They did. I did notice throughout the game they were playing loose, which I did not like. They did tighten up on the final drive, but it just didn't matter. But yeah, it was a great game though. Great game.
It was.
I thought Joe Burrow looked like a Heisman contender. The quarterback for LSU.
He did.
He looked great, and Sam Ehlinger put up a great fight.
He did.
And both of you all were wrong on this game.
Texas should have won.
There goes your natty pick, by the way. Good luck. Texas only plays one ranked team the rest of the year.
Yeah.
That's Oklahoma. It's going to be hard to build up that resume. So, but you have a shot still at the Sugar Bowl or, one of the big bowl games. If you're a Georgia fan, that's not good enough because you're idiots. But, yeah.
Georgia has the most humble fan base. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're all assholes. I hate them. I hate Georgia. Period. Their fans are awful.
We adding Georgia to the list of
that,
states you have a weird prejudice against.
Well,
Georgia is awful.
I'm talking about their football fans.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Their football fans.
Now, Florida I actually hate as a state. I think it's just the worst place ever.
Yeah.
Florida is actually Satan on earth. It's terrifying.
Florida, and I've heard Mississippi isn't much better.
Yeah. Which I heard
it's hotter than hell down there. I've heard, and nothing but swamp.
Yeah, Florida's just a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, meth gators.
Yeah, they got them meth gators and them potato famines they got up there.
They don't have potato famines there.
Or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what you were
talking about. They have meth famines.
Oh, okay. Yeah, same thing. But speaking of Florida and how stupid they are, we got a topic to discuss, and this has nothing to do with football, period. But we just found this hilarious.
Come on.
The Miami Heat. The Miami Heat have decided to rename their arena, and I just figured I would let Jake.
Thank God.
Take this one over. And would you like to tell us who is associated with this group of people that are renaming the arena?
Well, of course. Well, what happened was the Miami Heat decided that we need to auction off the name for our Coliseum. So, one big pornographic industry company ended up thinking, maybe it'd be great publicity for us if we bid $10 million on that name to name it Bang Bros Coliseum.
Yep.
My God.
Good job, Florida. Another stupid thing to add to the list. Your state is awful.
This is the greatest thing ever.
I love this.
I might watch basketball this year.
Just for that.
Just for that.
And just watch the stadium intros, where they zoom in on the stadium, and they're like, welcome to the Bang Bros Arena. We're representing this game tonight between the Miami Heat and the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, my God.
That'd be the only reason to watch it and then cut it off right there just to hear them say that.
Yeah.
But they'd have to say that on ESPN that's owned by Disney.
That would be amazing.
God, please, let this happen.
$10 million. I mean, that's a lot of money.
It is.
That's for a name.
Yeah. This is so stupid. I love it, though. Thank you, NBA, for... thank you, Florida. Really, to the bottom of my heart, I want to thank Florida for giving us... Florida at least gives us, some kind of content or something to make fun of. You've had hurricanes this year. You've had the Bang Bros. It's just your state, man.
I've got to really thank the Bang Bros themselves. I'm they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
They know that this is hilarious.
Yeah, this is a joke.
This is a $10 million joke.
But also think about this.
I have so much respect for that.
It's a $10 million joke that will bring a lot of advertisement. And think about, this is just so hilarious. Brian, what do you think about?
Please, Brian, enlighten us.
What do you think about this genius move?
For the first time in my life,
He's speechless.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
We talked about something similar to this during bowl season last year.
It was a joke, yeah.
It was a joke that we came up with where Pornhub is like one of the most visited sites on the internet, that they should start the Pornhub Bowl.
Yeah, we did that joke.
Yeah, and it was just a joke. That's it. And now
this is the closest thing we'll ever have to that.
The NBA is actually doing something.
Well, the funny thing is, the NBA didn't want this.
Yeah.
They're flipping their lids right
it's
now.
It's Miami. And you said it was an auction, right? So the highest bidder wins it.
And if they're willing to spend $10 million on it, they're going. I have a feeling that they're going to win this auction.
Unless the NBA steps in and like $11 million, just name it the NBA Arena.
Yeah,
that's the only way they could legally get past this. But God, I hope the NBA don't step in. I hope this is just a thing.
I do too.
The Miami Heat, please let this be a thing. This will be memeable to the end of time.
I will be the biggest Miami fan of all time.
I will too.
Just to watch the game.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't even watch the game. I just watch the intros to the stadium.
They get a lot more clicks on their channel, I guess, on like TV.
Yep, some good content.
Those 3 words is all I want to hear, and then I'm gone.
Yep. Welcome to Bang Bros Arena. Anyways, in other stupid news, Jake, I want to get your opinion on this one first. Our boy Antonio Brown. Are you happy he's gone?
Yeah. I mean, as for NFL goes, I think we played awesome without him.
Yeah.
I sort of have the same mindset as you, where we didn't really need him. We got decent receivers anyway, which in fairness, I don't think anybody really needs a star receiver.
They don't.
Or a star quarterback. 2 decent ones will be fine.
You need a not a star quarterback. You need a solid quarterback, but as for receivers, you just need reliable guys.
Yeah.
And
they have hands.
Yeah. And as for that one topic that has been in the news here recently, none of us are really that qualified to speak about that. I don't think it's respectful to him or her.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say about that is, and Brian brought this up to Jake earlier in this week, is that if Larry Fitzgerald was accused of this, would people be so quick to jump on, oh, he did it? Your past actions do affect you.
We just need everyone to quit thinking guilty before proven innocent.
Yeah.
It's always innocent before proven guilty. So right now, to me, he's innocent.
He is innocent
until he's convicted.
Yeah.
Which is not even a. I don't think
it's not even. Yeah, it's not even like a.
I don't think it's a criminal suit. I think it's a civil suit.
It's a civil suit for $75,000, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but that's the thing that gets me is that's like nothing for like how much he's worth. That's what makes me think. Oh, well, dang, that sucks.
It is interesting. But as for the stupid part of him, we do have some stuff to still talk about there.
Plenty,
because he's an idiot. I actually have it here in my notes. AB is an expletive idiot. You can put together what that word is in my notes. But anyways, Jake, what do you think about that video he released after he gave that sincere apology to him and John Gruden's conversation?
Well, I obviously think that the Patriots had something to do with it, of course. But
we don't break rules in New England.
Of course
we
not.
never do.
No, but I think that's a legitimate possibility, but I'm not going to be on a witch hunt for New England just because.
Oh, I say you're happy he's gone.
Yeah.
Take him to
please.
Get him out of here.
Please and thank you. And now, have you actually looked at, both of you, have you looked at the contract?
Yes.
That was written up for Antonio Brown.
Yes.
Have
you read this?
I haven't.
If you deface anything about the team, the club, the coach, or the ownership, all money is void and gone.
Yep.
So, think about it like this: if he goes,
this is no risk. This is no risk for New England.
If he goes 15 games into the season and does nothing, and then at the last second, right before the season ends,
raises all hell.
then all of his money is gone. He's wasted his year, and he owes New England money because he already has something guaranteed to him.
Yep.
So he will owe them money.
Yep.
That's hilarious because he's going to screw up. He's already.
I would love for this to work out.
But here's
I really
the thing.
would.
Whatever he does, like any kind of action he takes, it's going to depend. It's going to depend on New England on what they think is an unacceptable action.
Yes.
It's going to depend on them.
Yeah.
Like it's up to them on what action they deem is unacceptable.
New England is the strictest place.
Yes.
And if you think that way too, they could screw him out of the money so easy because he did sign to this contract. If he was to say something just a little bit off the wall that didn't mean anything in a practice,
which
they could say, "Yep, nope."
Which here's the thing:
done.
you would think allegations of a horrific crime would be enough, but I guess
Again,
that has
allegations are just allegations.
Yeah, they are allegations,
and I don't think it would be the smart move for New England to go ahead and say, okay, we're voiding your contract now, especially in the future if they're wanting to bring on people to sign. Then people will be like, oh, I don't have a chance here because someone accused me of something. Right. So I don't think it'd be a good look for New England to go ahead and void his contract now.
Yeah.
But if it comes out as true, obviously, that he gets nothing.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And we get salary cap and all that stuff, and I'm not getting into that one thing. But but if that does come out to be true, then New England would get their profit back, their money back, and this entire year would be him running amok, a circus, for absolutely $0. Not even a penny.
Yeah.
Let's really think about that, because it's the 100th year anniversary of the NFL. And what have we talked about this entire time?
AB.
This is a college football podcast, and we've talked about AB. He has absolutely raised hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he is accused of something like this, he's given no benefit. He's earned no benefit of the doubt. He hasn't earned it.
I brought up the analogy of the statue tail to you all, and I compare him to AB. He's the same thing. If you look away for half a second or you blink and you don't see him, he's going to get mad at you.
Yeah.
And he's going to come for you.
Yeah.
That's AB.
This is a very touchy subject, but as for AB, I really don't. As for New England, proved Sunday night we don't need them.
Yeah,
I mean they beat Brian's beloved Steelers
to death,
absolute clobbering on national television, which was amazing.
If you watch Urinating Trees video of it, if you want to know how I feel about it.
Oh yeah, Urinating Tree is a YouTuber that
we love watching him, man.
Yeah,
he's funny.
He's hilarious. He has a segment called Days of Our Steelers.
Oh my god,
which is like a play on like the old-fashioned soap opera. And, it's actually pretty true to what the Steelers have been over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
So,
if you want my feelings on it, just watch his most recent Steelers video.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as much distractions anymore as that was just ineptitude of the Steelers. They just got absolutely clobbered on national television.
It really is going to show just how good they'll be this season, though, I think, because I really don't think the New England Patriots are so good that they're going to be a good Steelers team 38-3.
I don't know. I think New England looks... that defense for New England, forget the offense for a second. We already know the offense is great. I mean, Josh Gordon looks great. Jules looks great. But that pass rush looks unbelievable. And McCourty looks good. New England...
Well, you've obviously got them going to the Super Bowl, of course.
Well, yeah, and not even like a fan perspective anymore. I just really just think they'll go because they look like the most well-rounded team. Kansas City probably has the best offense, but Kansas City still has a defensive problem, and you can't really trust that. But
considering the way the things have gone the last 3 years, where New England struggles at first and then comes out on top, I really hope for
weird.
If there is a God, they will start 4-0 and end the season 9-7.
It's not even my
no, they ain't going 9-7.
If there is a God, that will happen.
It's not even like I have a vitriol hatred.
I don't either
for the Patriots. I'm just tired of seeing the exact same game in the Super Bowl.
Well,
I want something different.
That sucks. And then you're going to be tired this year watching the same thing again when Tom Brady hosted his 7th. Yep.
And he might.
That 42-year-old.
I mean, it's hard telling.
Beautiful man.
I hope he never makes it to the Hall of Fame. I crack up. That'd be the funniest thing ever.
No, he's going.
Aaron Rodgers is going to win the Super Bowl this year.
You're an idiot.
That's pretty.
I've got the Raiders down for winning against the Packers.
I don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
I do.
I do think it'll be a decent game for a while, though. Actually, from what I've seen from the Raiders,
they were really good first half and decent second half.
No, they were good the whole game, actually.
Yeah. The final score looked closer than what the game
they scored that in garbage time.
Yeah, like no one cares about that 16, like them getting to 16. It don't.
The thing I was most impressed
better.
with the fact that they went to the red zone 4 times and the Raiders only allowed 1 touchdown.
Yeah,
that's probably the most impressive thing. And that touchdown was in garbage time.
And our defense did look amazing.
Let me be clear. I am not. You know what? Actually, I don't hold the vitriol I had against the Raiders just because I do believe they did the right thing in the AB situation.
Yeah.
But your all's coach is an idiot.
Oh, no.
John Gruden.
He showed.
If it was up to him, AB'd still be in Oakland.
Yeah.
And thank God someone.
Mike Mayock is the closest we've got to a.
Mike Mayock is the sanest person there right now.
Yeah.
He actually is the one making logical decisions. A bunch of buffoons. I mean, your all's owner is a buffoon. He's going to Vegas even though he don't have the money to. You have a coach that you're paying. He's actually the highest paid coach, if I'm not mistaken, in the NFL.
That's hilarious. You have Bill Belichick in there, who's like the
greatest coach.
He's a historic coach at this point.
Yeah, and you're paying
John Gruden.
Yeah, a guy who was a TV personality for like 7 years.
$10 million a year to stay there for 10 years.
But Mike Mayock, he did make the right decision on the AB situation, and he's pretty good. But we're going to get past AB now.
Let's get back to college football.
Let's get back to college football. And Terry Wilson for Kentucky, the quarterback for Kentucky, got hurt against Eastern Michigan.
Yep.
Feel sorry for the poor bastard.
It sucks. It really does. Brian, what do you think about this?
Yeah, man. He was looking good, too.
Yep.
He was.
Looked like he improved a lot.
He did. Year. And, which, I mean, just to get away from football, man, I hope he recovers well. I hope he rehabs well.
Seems like a good young man.
Yeah, and I hope he's able to come back out and play for UK again in the future.
He's only a junior.
Yeah, so he can come back as a senior.
I hated him so much last year watching him play. He made me so mad last year.
I will say this about him.
This year he did look good, though.
I will say this about him. You can hate him as much as you want to, but whenever you needed him, he was usually pretty. That Missouri game, that drive.
Yeah.
Was magical.
It was like he played his worst when they were up a lot, or they were kind of like when Kentucky was down in the fourth quarter, he came through normally.
Well, that Georgia game, even though they got beat by Georgia in the fourth quarter of that Georgia game, he actually played excellent. It just they were already down by so much,
right?
And Georgia is elite. As much as I hate to say that,
right? And really, his biggest problem was the fact that he just held the ball, like he wouldn't throw it away. Like he kind of.
It was his first year as a starter.
It was. So it was a learning experience.
Yeah, and but he is the only quarterback in the modern era for Kentucky to lead them to the top 10.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Andre Woodson didn't even do that.
Nope. He was Andre Woodson they ended the year unranked.
Yeah.
I mean, as good as everybody praises Andre Woodson, they only went 8-5.
Yeah.
And won the Music City Bowl. Yeah.
But yeah, I wish him the best.
I do too.
I hope he gets well, and hopefully this young guy from Troy can come in and play well. Hopefully.
Yeah. Me and Brian are going to that game. And,
we are.
We'll see how that goes. I'm excited, and we'll talk about that game here.
I'm not going.
Yeah, because no one likes Jake. Jake sucks. I figured we'd point that out. Me and Jake are going to the Kentucky-Tennessee game.
You'll come home and find me hanging in my closet.
Yeah. we don't want you here. We don't even need you. You fool. But what do you think about the Terry Wilson injury, Jake?
I'm surprised by it, honestly. You
don't want it to ever happen.
No.
They just come out of random.
I mean, sometimes in games, I'll jokingly say, break their necks or something stupid. Of course.
You never really
I don't want a dude to be paralyzed for life or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel sorry for the guy. I mean, he's in his prime years for football, and he's going to miss out on a lot of it because of this, probably.
And speaking of prime years, not just for football, but for life, think about how that affects them going into the future with arthritis, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, that affects every football player.
Yeah. But here, I bring that up for one reason. Our next subject, and I think we all are in agreement on this. Should college football players be paid?
Yes.
Never. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yes. Now, what solution do you think would be the best for that? Do you think they should be able to monetize themselves, like their likeness, or do you think they should make like a minimum wage, or what do you think?
I think that minimum wage like seems to be like the most even out.
Yeah,
but I do think that if they made like a college football game in the future and their likenesses were in there, they should probably see a percentage of it.
Yeah,
in some way, however big or small that percentage is.
Yeah,
I can't tell.
It's irrelevant.
But
see, I feel it's fair to just. I'm sort of 50-50 on it. I can see why they don't get paid, but then I also look and see just how much money they rake in
for the
NCAA.
Yeah, for anybody that don't know, the NCAA goes under the banner of we're a non-profit organization. Bull. They have a bowl game called the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. If you're a non-profit organization and you have sponsors with PlayStation, and you have the Cheez-It Bowl, and you have the Outback
Dollar
Bowl,
General.
the Dollar General Bowl. You're not you can hide under we're a non-profit organization. We don't make any money off the schools with the stadium sales and stuff. Yeah, because you make all the money with TV deals. That's really what matters.
Yeah.
So I'm tired of this non-profit organization bullcrap that they throw out there, and then the kids get nothing out of this.
But I would definitely... my solution, if you have to pay your players, make it a work study sort of deal.
Yeah.
They get paid for practice, they get paid for games. $7.25, $7.50, whatever minimum wage is at this point, an hour.
Well, the NCAA, they only allow you, if I'm not mistaken, 60 hours a week where coaches can practice with them and watch film and weightlift and stuff like that. And think about like a work schedule, how you work like so many hours a week. Treat it like that, to where you treat basically the time that they're in the weight room or on the practice field or in the film room, you treat that as a job, and you pay them minimum wage for that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that would be, for me at least, I think the most logical.
Another thing that Tyler brought up right before the podcast was, we were sort of just having a little talk about it, was paying them for, if you're wanting to give likeness to their name, like for like, uniform and t-shirt sales and like the gift shops and stuff. Give them like a slight cut of that because, again,
that is 99, their name.
Yeah, it's their name. And you also have to think 99% of these guys are never going to get paid for playing football.
Yeah, I mean, only 1% go to the NFL.
And then you might have like another percentile maybe that goes to the CFL or something.
Yeah, and the Arena Football League and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's, again, they're not going to get paid much, of course. That's fine. But anyway, give them like that from their T-shirts and stuff like that. That'd be fine, I think. Yeah, because they're not going to make $1 million or an insane amount of money, but they are going to have enough to, afford gas, food, stuff like that. But I could also come up with another agreement that if you didn't want to pay them, give them literally anything they want on campus for free.
Yes, I could. Well,
because that gives them. I mean, they're not going to have money to go out and buy themselves a 6-pack of beer and party on the weekends.
Yeah, but let them,
who cares? That's not that's not the campus's responsibility.
It's not. Let them
party.
Let them have like free backpacks, stuff like that on campus.
Exactly, free clothes, free food, free,
and make it like a point system to where you could almost you could either accept like a paycheck for that week, or you could take like so many points out of your paycheck, almost like like whenever you get insurance for a job, you could take almost so much out of your payday in order to apply to like a like let's use UK for example. So like CAT points on campus, you could like install them CAT points into like, oh, I want a backpack, so I give so many points. I take so much money out of my paycheck.
Almost like a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, really enough. Yeah,
kinda, yeah.
This is exactly what this is.
But still, that still is giving them something in return for their efforts.
Yes, and I think that's fair.
And again, not the campus's responsibility to allow them to party on the weekends.
Yeah,
I don't pity anybody saying, well, they're not going to be able to afford stuff off campus. Well, they have literally everything they would ever need to live on campus.
Yeah, I think. What do you think, Brian?
It's I've always not really bought the whole let's just let them live free on campus and everything like that. I mean, because you do spend the average college student is going to spend 3 or 4 years living on that campus, and are they just expected to just live on that campus and just accept whatever the campus is going to give them for free and not be able to go outside of it, like gas money to go to places
again,
and stuff like that?
I will agree with Jake here. That is not the university's. That's not the university's responsibility.
It's not. It's
Now,
not their responsibility.
But we're not really talking about the universities. We're talking about the NCAA.
Yeah, well, if the players want to use that money, instead of installing that money for stuff on campus, they can use that money for outside of the campus. So it's almost like they get to choose whether they want to use it for stuff on campus or stuff off campus.
Right.
So I think that's fair because it gives the players a choice. They get to make a decision with whatever they want to do with their money there.
Right.
And also the university is a part of the NCAA, so it is the university that would be in charge of paying.
Yeah, the NCAA owns the rights to the colleges when it comes to sports and stuff. That's why the NAIA owns the rights to like your UPikes and Union schools that are local to us in Kentucky. No one else has heard of them out of here, but who cares?
Right. But yeah, I've always been on the mindset that if these kids are legitimately like working hard, 50 to 60 hours a week.
Heck, Maryland had a player get killed last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
wait, they had a player get killed?
Yeah, he died.
You were telling me about
Maryland
that.
Player,
Did he break his neck or something?
No. He died of heat exhaustion.
How?
The coaches were terrible people. Out
of all the things that you would die in football?
It was during the summer, during summer practices, and he died of heat exhaustion.
That's sickening.
Yeah.
That's like a human rights violation.
Yeah. He was fired, obviously.
Well, yeah, but he needs to face prison time for that.
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
negligent manslaughter.
I agree. If not the coach, the training staff does.
Yeah.
But
pretty much everyone that was responsible
involved.
should have been gone to trial over that.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Whenever Ohio State from last year, if anybody knows about that scandal,
oh man,
if they're not the worst scandal in the Big Ten, then your school screwed up bad. Maryland was the worst scandal I've seen.
Well, at least they didn't try to cover it up like Ohio State did. Yeah. I mean, like.
Well, you kind of can't cover up a kid's
right, yeah, but still, that was the reason why the scandal was so big was because it was like covered up by a lot of
scandal? What did Ohio State have?
Ohio State had a assistant coach last year, Zach Smith, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that was his name. That mercifully beat his wife, and then the coaching staff at Ohio State tried to cover it up.
You just said mercifully beat his wife.
Yeah, I'm not even like joking here. Like
no, you said mercifully.
I did.
I didn't make the blunder this week. It wasn't me.
Tyler, what should he have done? What should he have done, Tyler?
Oh, my God.
He should have beat her with a clothes hanger.
Yeah.
Should have got the bat out.
It was the Tyler blunder this week.
Don't make me pull out my ring hand.
It's funny because we are literally joking about a woman that got beat.
Mercifully.
Yeah. Mercifully. It didn't do it hard enough. But all jokes aside, the Ohio State coach beat his wife
mercilessly.
Yeah, and Ohio State coaching staff was like, "Oh, let's cover this up."
Oh, I remember. Yeah, that was also terrible.
Yeah, and Urban Meyer, aka Satan, was like, "I didn't know anything about this."
When he did,
and I want to talk about one little thing with Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer is also the same coach who had like 58 players arrested at Florida. So he coached at Florida and had like 58 players arrested, and then he comes to Ohio State and covers this up.
Was this the guy that was like he was like
he's the devil?
Yeah, we got like all the white women you could ever want. Is that same dude?
Huh?
No.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
That was Art Browse at Baylor.
Okay, yeah.
Art Browse at Baylor was the.
He was trying to get like all the players to go around.
Yes.
Pretty much sell the women on campus out. That's awful, man.
That was also another dumpster fire.
This is just the week we're just talking about horrible things. Then
we're talking
about with AB.
It's horrible, but I mean, it's truth.
It's part of.
It's sad.
Part of football.
It is. It is. But
and
it's not a part of football. It's just a part of the friggin' organization.
Yeah.
This isn't football at all at this point.
No, this is just people.
This is sad.
This is just people doing a lot terrible things.
Yeah,
just terrible things.
Yeah,
but we've gone from AB to the coach from Maryland to Urban Meyer.
Merciful beatings, of course.
Merciful beatings. Yeah. Didn't do it hard enough. Yeah. But we're going to segue into the Cal law. Now, you all have heard of this, right? The new California law for college football?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. For anybody that don't know, California just passed a law.
Now, let me just clarify.
Players.
Is it required or is it optional?
It's optional.
Okay.
But California just passed a law that is basically pay to play for college players. So essentially, college players can make money off their likeness, and the NCAA is in a tizzy over this. Brian, what do you think about this?
I agree with it.
I agree with it too.
And I hope it starts a trend that a lot of other states follow.
Yep.
I know the NCAA. I read a headline. I didn't go.
They're like California schools can't compete for national championships now.
Which like they're trying everything they can to keep every cent that they can keep.
They're disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross.
I hate the NCAA.
And these kids that are literally putting their bodies and their lives on the line.
Well, think about if a kid that plays college football wanted to do what we're doing right now, and they want to monetize their videos. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't. They can't make money off themselves. That is the stupidest, most idiotic thing in the world.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, and how far does that go? If a kid decides during the off season to get a minimum wage job, that they can't? Or
I don't.
How far does it go?
See, it's kind of it kind of makes no sense because you're right because. Usually you get a job by your appearance, your likeness, stuff like that, through an interview process. How does that work?
Yeah.
It really does make no sense to me.
Would a kid get in trouble during the off season if he did some odd summer jobs throughout the town he lives in?
What happens if a kid's studying filmmaking at a school, makes a short film? What, he can't present that because it has his likeness on it?
And it could possibly make money?
That is so stupid.
Yeah,
I hate the NCAA.
Yeah.
Jake, what do you think about this?
I actually find it very interesting because of this law.
Mm-hmm.
I would bet you money right now, California is going to be the bastion of football in the coming years for college football.
Yeah.
What the NCAA said. That's a flat-out lie.
Yeah, the NCAA is doing this. It's a scare tactic by the NCAA.
Right. You're going to keep USC and teams like that
good job.
out of the national.
You're not going to have the Rose Bowl be part of college football?
And,
really.
And now you're saying that USC can pay their players.
You're tampering our name of our podcast if you take the Rose Bowl out.
Yeah.
NCAA,
this is
considering the fact that it's a
we will do nothing about it.
And we're going to do nothing. I swear we'll do nothing.
Consider the fact that the Rose Bowl is such a cornerstone, not just in college football, but in football in general.
Yes.
People that don't watch college football watch the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, the Rose Bowl parade and everything that comes along with it.
There was one game I watched with you all last season.
Is the Rose Bowl.
It was the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Because it was awesome.
it's a huge cornerstone in college
football. And you're gonna make that not part of the college football playoff.
Idiotic.
Yeah, you're insane.
Idiotic.
But just think of this though. Every player in the nation is going to think,
I can get paid.
I can get paid in California, and it's California.
And think about LA.
Oh God. UCLA would be
and this ain't pay to play. This is off likeness.
Yeah.
So think about Snoop Dogg, who's a big USC fan.
Oh God.
Who's going to donate a garbage truck load of money to players starting quarterback for USC. Here's your entire garbage truck full of money. Starting running back. Here's your garbage truck.
Yeah, for a fact that.
And this is the part of it that I don't like too, though.
No, okay, I'm with you, but at the same time, this is at least some kind of progress.
It beats the alternative of them not getting paid.
Yeah, I think it beats the alternative of what they have right now, which is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. And if this does work out, in the coming years, other states will follow through.
Yeah, and I can tell you now, the NCAA, give it 2 years, the NCAA will be like, okay, now we're allowing this and this and this to happen. And they'll try to find some kind of middle ground to where I think the minimum wage thing will happen.
And I hope it does. I hope that's what happens.
Because they're not going to keep USC. Think about the Pac-12 conference. The Pac-12 conference would be in trouble. Because you'd have UCLA basketball, which is a historical basketball program in college basketball, be in trouble. You'd have USC football, which is a huge cornerstone in college football. And, it's stupid. The NCAA is not going to go through with this.
Yeah. Another thing that I really don't like about, the Snoop Dogg analogy you're giving is these are college kids, and they're getting these boatloads of money. How hard is that going to go to their heads?
Okay.
That's what scares me a little bit about it. It's not like I just outright have a vitriol against stuff.
But it's already happening anyways.
Yeah. If you don't think that...
Think about 2005 USC.
That's true.
With Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, Lindell White. They all hung out as Snoop Dogs.
Yeah.
They were really good friends with Snoop Dogg. They hung out with him. And Snoop Dogg would attend the practices, so would Will Ferrell. So you're going to have that in college football, that corruption. But if you can keep it on a chain or a leash... and like regulate it.
Like,
I think,
which Eric Dickerson has literally gone on national TV saying, "Yeah, I took money. Everyone takes money."
What college kid would be like? No, I'm above taking money from university because I don't want to break the NCAA rules. Screw the NCAA.
Yeah.
Screw them.
And I see where they're coming from, but
Who cares
and who's going to say no to like however much money they give you? Let's say if maybe like somebody offers a player $50,000 to play if you play well this season.
Yeah.
Who's going to say no to that?
Yeah, no one.
No one would say no to that.
And here's my argument with this. Right now, I have no problem with these colleges doing that because these players are getting nothing. But if they do the minimum wage thing,
then it would be a problem.
Then I think any school that goes over the minimum wage gap should be penalized. That would be my rule for that.
Have like a minimum wage beyond the actual federal minimum wage, like have an NCAA minimum wage.
One problem that you would have with the likeness rule would be the fact of how uneven it would be because the USC quarterback is going to get a lot more money than the backup.
I don't care about that. Like it's going to be uneven. When you go by likenesses, you can't care about that because people that are more popular are going to get more money.
It would just be the backlash it would receive.
It's like being mad that Taylor Swift gets more money than like Creedence Clearwater Revival.
You could almost do a thing to where each conference, like you know how you have Power 5 and Group of 5 conferences, right? Mm-hmm. Each Power 5 conference makes like $10 a minimum wage for players do each hour that they, and the Group of 5 it's at $7. I know that sounds unfair to some people, but the Group of 5 is already treated unfairly anyways, and that's still players getting something. Just a thought that crossed my head because you did say it's going to be uneven no matter what.
Unless you do the minimum wage.
Yeah. So that might be a way to regulate it. It's a complex thing, and it's
way over our heads.
Yeah, we have
everything we've talked about today has been over our heads.
Yeah, we're idiots.
But
last week we talked about what was it? We won at 75,000 likes and Patreon money, and
we didn't get that, so now we have to go neck ourselves.
Yeah, now we're sad. We have to sponsor water now, which is very important to us. It's part of our brand.
Sure is.
Yeah.
But
take it water.
Yeah.
Yep, water's amazing. Gotta love water. I figured we'd move past that now and get on to our upsets of the week. Jake, what's your upset of the week?
Stanford.
No.
It's not Stanford.
No, Stanford. Clemson.
Yeah.
Who beats Clemson?
Who beats Clemson?
I think it's Syracuse, right?
It is Syracuse.
Yeah.
Syracuse.
Yep, Syracuse.
You want to know?
Jake remembered something. Oh, my God. It's a moment in history, people. Mark it down.
You know why I picked it, though, right?
Why'd you pick it?
The Spirit of Brady.
Spirit of Brady this time.
The Spirit of Brady this time.
It is in the Northeast.
It is in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Brady's going to carry him this time.
Isn't Syracuse in New York?
Him and his 7 rings.
So it'd actually be the spirit of Eli Manning then.
The spirit of Eli Manning will carry.
No, Eli Manning
Brady twice. So
Eli Manning doesn't matter. Tom Brady is all.
Yeah. I would go more with the Tebow theory because again, Tebow is a very giving man.
That's true.
Tom
Brady is a very
giving.
And
he played for New York for a little bit for the New York Jets.
He did. Yeah. So Tebow works.
And it was a disaster.
It was awful. Like they had him play.
Hey. That's because he was donating that spirit to other teams.
That's true.
Yeah.
He was donating it to New England.
Scientific fact.
Yep, knowledge.
Yep.
My upset of the week is actually Arizona State over Michigan State.
You're wrong.
Okay. Thanks, Jake, for letting me know.
You're welcome.
Do you want to compare records on the year? Because you're in last place.
Usually excel later on.
Yeah.
I'm an underdog.
He's a late bloomer, everyone.
That's right. I was born 4 months prematurely.
Yep. But mine's Arizona State over Michigan State. I think this will be a defensive battle, and in Michigan State, there's one thing I want to discuss with them. I think we might have discussed this just a little bit early on, but I have something to show Jake here. It's these uniforms by Michigan State.
You did mention the uniforms.
I did, yeah. I remember now.
Yeah.
They're actually the worst thing to ever exist.
Let's
Anybody that thinks Oregon's uniforms are bad,
go faster.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Don't pressure me. I don't do good under pressure.
I'll pressure you.
Right here they are.
I've got to see this.
Tell me if them don't make you want to vomit. We'll put them on screen for the viewers. Yep. What's your thoughts? Jake right now is just looking.
You know what they
perplexed.
look like?
What?
I'll go ahead and say they should have put a little bit of red in it and been Mountain Dew.
Oh my God! Get here. Yep.
Put a little red in it. Make a Mountain Dew. That's what they should have been.
That's exactly.
Why didn't they do that?
They should be sponsored by Mountain Dew.
All right, it's official. Michigan State sponsored by Mountain Dew.
Yep.
Official. You heard it here.
Yep.
That's not official, but what's
Brian's just serious. Like, it's not official.
No, it's not official.
Why is state like that? Why is the word state like that?
Because it makes me want to vomit.
The spirit of Mountain Dew.
That's what's bothering me the most right now is the word state.
It's the worst thing I've ever looked at.
Ripperoo Mountain Dew.
I thought Oregon was bad. Oregon's uniforms at least like have some kind of personality.
Those at least make me smile.
Yeah,
because I think Mountain Dew when I see it, and I'm not even a fan of Mountain Dew.
These make me sick. I don't know who thought this was a good idea because I actually liked Michigan State's old uniforms.
They should have just added a red outline to the numbers.
Yeah,
the
because I like that shade of green.
And white.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I like that shade of green too.
Yeah, it was dope. And now they got this ugly thing that makes me want to puke.
It's Mountain Dew.
Yep.
Want to lick those uniforms.
Them and Rutgers should have the most interesting battle because they have the worst uniforms. That actually
It'd be a big slap fight.
Yeah, awful. But that's my upset pick of the week is Arizona State beating the ugly uniforms. Brian, what's your upset pick of the week?
Just because I'll be at that game and I'll be rooting for this team. Hopefully Kentucky can beat Florida.
You're wrong.
I may be. I may be. But hopefully.
You're wrong.
I'm hoping.
I want Kentucky to win for one reason. I want to storm the field. So bad.
You think they will?
Well, yeah. It's unranked Kentucky beating number 8 Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll storm the field.
Okay.
Definitely.
But
just like you're going to storm Area 51. That's how realistic.
That was a thing.
No, it's still. Have you read up the news on it? They're still doing it.
Why?
They're still doing it.
Idiots.
Please do it.
I'm wanting to. I just want to see the video of the big pink mist going over the Mojave Desert.
But
it'll be awful.
But anyway. So I'm hoping they will because people are saying that Kentucky's in a rebuilding team. A lot of their backup players behind like Josh Allen and Benny Snell, they were good players.
Yeah.
And right now their defense is what's impressing me the most right now because you're losing a lot of key members and they're still playing this well.
The only thing I do worry about their defense is their secondary is quite young and going up against the speed of Florida's receivers, I think, is a lot.
Right.
Now, Felipe Franks, again, you don't know what he's going to do. He's one of them weird quarterbacks to where he can either throw for 400 yards or throw 5 picks. So we'll just have to wait and see for him.
Or 400 yards and 5 picks.
The Hawaii quarterback, week 0, did it.
Yep.
That was an awesome game.
It was. But we're going to go ahead and get to our 5 games of the week. And actually, some of our games of the week actually made it onto our upset picks. So I have no need to talk about Arizona State and Michigan State. You already know my pick. I got Arizona State. But, Brian, who do you got?
Yeah, just because, I am going to go with Michigan State on this.
The power of Mountain Dew.
You stole my joke. I was going to say that.
It is the safer pick.
Yeah.
So
I'll
lean towards Michigan State.
Damn it, Tyler.
Jay.
Spirit of Mountain Dew's going to win.
The Spirit of Mountain Dew will win.
It's my joke.
Yep. Nope. I said it first. Nope. You have potato famine.
I have Mountain Dew.
No.
I came up with the joke.
You are right, but you did not come up with the power.
Oh my God.
I own the official rights to that joke.
No, I'm going to go file a patent on it today.
I'll sue you. Let's go to court right now.
I'll win because I'll have the patent.
We have this recording.
This actually probably wouldn't work because Mountain Dew's already trademarked.
Yeah, this would actually be
Spirit of Mountain Dew.
I think the judge would just take us both to jail and say
the judge would take us to jail.
He'd be like
for idiocy.
He'd probably just
for
look
wasting
at us,
my freaking time.
He'd probably shoot both of us and blow his own brains out because he's just like overloaded on retardation.
He'd probably say public disturbance, I think is what he was labeled as. But
menace to society.
Yep. Let's get on to the next game. Stanford at UCF. Who do you got in this one, Brian?
I got UCF.
Got UCF?
Yes.
Who do you got, Jake?
Stanford.
You taking Stanford?
Why not?
Yeah, bit you in the ass last week. Plus me. But I'm actually going to go with UCF.
Well, I'm probably wrong then, but we'll see.
Yeah, because...
me and Brian both love UCF.
We do.
They're just awesome program.
Ever since I watched that game where they beat Auburn. Yeah, that I fell in love with them.
I just love their program. They're like the small boys that will go out and play the big dog, and they're not afraid to. I don't know.
It's going to be David versus Goliath.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Actually, UCF's favored by 8 points in this
Oh,
one.
really?
Yeah, UCF's favored.
I guess after that showing that
I should have
Stanford
chose
had.
this as my upset then.
Oh, yeah, you could have. Which your upset is insane. I actually love your upset.
Yeah. It's not going to work out well.
Okay. Our next game is Iowa versus Iowa State. This is actually where College Game Day is. And before we actually discuss the game, I actually want to ask you all, who do you think Corso will pick in this game? Jake?
He'll pick the right one.
That's
He's going to whoever he pick. Just no. Corso is strategic.
Yeah,
he's going to pick who wins.
He gives the best reasons. Like, this team has not played on this color of grass since 1946. And
That's right.
The soil has not been refurbished since this time and era, and it hasn't rained in the last 36 days.
Yeah,
and the snow is not coming in until winter.
And
so he gives very thought-provoking
reasons. And then he also says, and also, the other team sucks. And
yeah.
I'm Lee Corso.
Yeah.
Good night.
He also, he's the man. Who do you got?
That's right.
Who do you think he's going to pick, Brian?
I'm going to say Iowa State.
You think Lee Corso is going to pick Iowa State?
Yes.
It's at Iowa State.
Yeah.
So I can see him going with like the home crowd and trying to hype him up. And there's just nothing better than that man. But actually, to the game, who do you got winning the game?
I'm actually going to pick Iowa State.
You are?
The game. I am.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was Iowa that almost lost to Northern Iowa.
Nope, Iowa State.
Well, really?
Yep, Iowa State's the team that almost lost to Northern Iowa.
I get that. You can understand my confusion there.
Yeah.
But, okay.
I can't.
But I'll still go with Iowa State because, they are two ranked teams. They're two good teams.
Mm-hmm.
And again, same logic I had last week that ended up screwing me over. But I'm going to pick the home field advantage over here because they're both two very good teams. I would say that they're both pretty equally matched.
What?
Jake must die.
What am I doing?
Yep.
I'm agreeing.
Jake, there are a lot of tools in here.
We are in a garage. You can go out pretty slowly.
And I didn't bring my gun.
Yep. But who do you got in this game, Jake?
Whoever Lee Corso picks.
You have to make a pick for the records. There's an ice cream truck going up and down the road.
All right, podcast got to pause right now.
We want our ice cream.
I got to get my SpongeBob ice cream. No, Iowa.
You picking Iowa?
Yeah, Lee Corso, please back me up here.
I'm picking Iowa State. I'm going with Brian here. I'm going with the Cyclones. They're at home.
Wrong again.
I like their quarterback, Brock Berlin. Good player. And I just really like their coach. I think this will be a good game, though. I think this will be a slobber knocker.
Yeah.
But on to our fourth game of the week. This one, Jake, I love you for picking this because it's actually pretty stupid, but it could, I don't know, I would be mesmerized if this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you got, Brian? Syracuse or Clemson?
Jake, what did he mean by that? What did he mean by he loved your pick?
You must not have listened to the previous statement.
His upset pick of the week is Syracuse over Clemson.
Is it?
Yeah, because the spirit of Tebow will guide them.
So I guess
Brian just filters me out completely.
Yeah, I do.
He's a fool.
He's like, this guy's an idiot. Why am I related to him?
I was trying to make a comedy bit there, but never mind. But yeah, Clemson.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Clemson as well because I'm smart, like Jake. And really, though, I will say there is some kind of logic behind this because Syracuse is the only team in the last 2 years to really give Clemson a lot of fits. But that Syracuse team that we saw last week against Maryland,
they're pumped up now. They're pumped up now.
We'll see how it goes, but I'm with Brian here. Clemson, I think, will win this.
You're wrong.
Yep, I know. We suck in your eyes. Mr. Georgia State's the greatest team to ever exist.
It is.
Yeah, they beat a Tennessee team who is pretty much garbage at this point.
The SEC team, they beat them.
Yeah, that's a great.
SEC.
Vanderbilt's also in the SEC too.
Yeah.
But
I bet Georgia State would beat them.
Yeah, probably. But Game of the week. Our game of the week this week is actually Florida versus Kentucky, which me and Brian are going to. Who do you got in this one, Jake?
Florida.
He's taking the chomp. He has to take them because he picked Florida to win the SEC like an idiot.
And picked Kentucky to go to the Sugar Bowl.
He picked Kentucky to go second.
So Alabama's going to be third, and Georgia's going to be fourth.
Yeah, and LSU's going to be fifth.
Yep.
Even though they beat Texas, which is either the best or the second best team in the Big 12.
This is going to work out in my favor.
Yeah, sure.
We'd
have to have a redo of 2007 for we'd have to have a year like 2007 for
everybody gets upset at.
It'd be great. This is the year of 2019.
This is for to work in your favor.
Huh?
This is the year of 2019.
It is. I'm glad you know what year it is. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Really proud of you, Jake.
12 years later.
Yep.
You know what 12 plus 9 equals?
What?
21. It's a blackjack.
Oh, my God.
That means I've won.
Yeah, look at the knowledge here. He's bestowing on me. Yep, what a genius.
I'm just as confused as you are at this point.
I don't even understand what he's talking about. This is like the potato famine thing.
Oh, you know what? Non-potatoes is all it takes to make a blackjack.
It's become like the movie number 23 is what this is turning into.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen that movie, it's nonsense. But...
Perfect nonsense.
Yeah, but I am going to get in... I'm going to make my pick here, and I'm actually going to go with Kentucky for... Like I said earlier, one reason I just want to storm the field. Like I could care less if Kentucky actually wins this. I just want to storm the field. So I'm going to mark Kentucky as a win, and I actually do think they have a legit shot. Like I don't think like this is like a crazy upset or anything. I think this will be a good game overall.
Yeah.
I'm excited to do it. Go to it, and yeah, I think we'll be ending it there.
Yeah.
There's one more thing I want to say. Going back to Michael's logo, if you just want to get a logo painted, go to the description, and we'll have his email in the in there. And I think that's about it. I
did have one last question for both of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
If all of the NCAA teams got together and fist fought, who would win?
What in the world?
I knew I was scared for a reason.
Yeah. This is
well. Answer.
You realize this podcast has practically gone to hell.
Yeah.
This is one of the worst podcasts. This is the worst podcast we've ever recorded, and it's your fault. I am officially blaming you because of this question. Because of this question, I am blaming you.
Now, what are they fighting in?
The squared circle, of course.
The Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
Okay.
The squared circle.
Who's the ref?
Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Why not?
But who would win? And also remember, you're fitting
why
two
are you
football
indulging
teams.
this?
You're fitting two football teams in the Hell in the Cell.
Why are you
Who's going to win the
indulging this?
fist fight?
What teams are in?
All of them.
But it'd be impossible to fit in a ring.
No, who would make it to the end, like tournament style?
Probably Army and Navy or somebody.
No, I could see that.
Yeah.
How about you, Brian?
I'm not indulging this. I'm not giving this any kind of dignity or acknowledgement whatsoever.
I personally think it would be Georgia State, just because. Why not?
Yeah, Georgia State going there and kick some ass.
That's right.
In the Hell in the Cell.
In the Hell in the Cell.
But I also want to, seeing we're already talking about stupid stuff, there's one more thing I guess I can bring up. Remember, follow us at our sponsor, Water. Water is a great sponsor. It allows us to be hydrated. It allows us to do a lot of things. There's even a great movie. It's a masterpiece called Waterboy.
Oh, yes.
One of the most thought-provoking films of all time. So if you just
can
go
do it.
and click on the non-existent link in the bottom that we don't really have that sponsors Water.
You can go there and donate $50 to God for giving it to us.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually. I'm really glad we have it.
Yeah.
But
thank you, God.
I don't like Waterboy.
Yeah. Yeah,
well, you're wrong.
That's you're the devil then.
The devil.
But I think we're going to end it there, and Mormon out.
See you guys.
Hasta la vista.
Got some big games this week. Got Michigan State coming in undefeated along with Arizona State. Got Michigan State easily beating them. They got a solid defense, play a lot better competition. Got Iowa versus Iowa State, where college game day is going to be at. Got to go with my boys at Iowa State with a little bit of an upset. Don't see Iowa being able to stop Brock Purdy, the quarterback at Iowa State. Got Stanford and UCF. Stanford gets their quarterback back after him being out for a week. Although they do lose an offensive lineman, so if they do upset UCF, it's going to be a pretty close game. It's going to be determined by their defenses. Then we got Clemson, Syracuse. Syracuse has always traditionally been able to hold a close game to Clemson, and they also beat them a couple years ago when they were the number 1 team and undefeated. Really got Syracuse kind of coming in, putting up a good fight, but Clemson finishes out with Trevor Lawrence. Then game of the week, Florida, Kentucky. That's not even a question. Florida's going to dominate UK, and there's nothing UK can do about it.